Sideways #4, which I am the only one reading, I believe, at this point. It's a shame that nobody else is reading it, because I think it keeps getting better. I like this issue quite a bit. So this was Dan Didio and Justin Jordan writing, and Kenneth Rocafort on the art. 4 issues in a row. Same artist in this book.
I think that might be a record for this.
Yeah, but Rocafort's known for being consistent, so that's
Rocafort's great.
Yeah, it's just funny though, because every other New Age book's not been able to achieve that, even close to that at this point. So basically, this issue, Sideways is decided, you know what, I want to get some notoriety. Thank you, notoriety. Right. But so he's like, hey, I'm just going to go. I'm going to rift over here. This fight's going on. Hotspot's fighting this villain called Replicant. I'm going to go in. I'm going to save the day, and people can see me. I'll be famous, and people will know who Sideways is. And Ernie's like, no, this is stupid. This is dangerous. You should at least Google who this villain is first to find out what he can do. He's like, no, I'll be fine. He should Google me. I'm Sideways. I got rifting powers. So he's all cocky, and he teleports off to the city and gets in the middle of this fight. And what I love between this issue and last issue is that stuff keeps happening that's surprisingly violent. Like, remember last issue, the arm was cut off in the rift?
Yeah.
This issue, they're using these powers in fun ways. Hotspot fires like flames at him, and he opens a rift in front of his face, and then opens the sort of the exit of the rift behind the villain's head, so the flames come out from behind him and set him on fire. And he literally is set on fire, and he's like, oh shit, I set him on fire. And he has to run over to there's the fire engine that's nearby and get the hose. He's like, sorry workers, I have to steal your hose. And he puts them out. It's becoming this running gag that he keeps accidentally doing really violent things to villains.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. This is a great running gag. Keep doing it. And he's like, shit, Ernie's going to kill me. I set someone on fire.
I feel like that needs to come back and just do again.
Oh, yeah.
It needs the again at the end to really make it funny.
Mm-hmm. So I'm digging it. I'm digging his relationship with Ernie, and the fact that he keeps screwing up. He's like such a useless. And it's funny. So Replicant basically steals powers. Like he copies your power, and he doesn't know how to use rifting properly. So he ends up with the rift power, and he actually touches himself while rifting. That sounds really dirty, but.
Yeah, it does.
Basically, he's like, no, that's a bad idea. He shouldn't be touching himself while rifting, and it basically makes him explode into like almost like a balloon. It's like a multicolored balloon popping.
Does he give a reason why you shouldn't touch yourself?
Not as of yet. It's seemingly he just knows that you shouldn't be doing that yet. So I imagine
I feel like I'd be really intrigued to see how he learnt that.
I feel like it'll probably come up. Maybe he'll. Go into the rules a little bit more, because he's about to be trained, because when he gets home, the big sort of god guy that he met in the first issue is there's like, oh, it's time for your training. The rifting between worlds is starting to happen too frequently. It's time for your training. So they're clearly setting up that he's going to learn more about his powers and stuff from a mentor. So we've had a bit of like him just sort of like stumbling around learning things with his best friend who made his costume. Meanwhile, his mother, who's trying to get him an internship where she works at this big corporation, and we know that the evil villain boss has been spying on him, and she knows that he's Sideways. He doesn't show up because he thinks it's just a lunch date, and he ends up getting too distracted with the crime fighting, which actually had a really funny little ironic cut between panels, because it ends a page where Aaron's like, hey, well, don't you have lunch with your mother? You should go there. He's like, hey, I'll be fine. I need to be there at 2. Everything will be fine. And then he turned the page, and she's like, oh, he's meant to be here at 1. He's running late. Where is he? So that was a funny little cut. It's building the characters. Plus, Rocafort's art's great. I'm digging it. I feel like as I'm seeing more of it, I'm reading more of it, the supporting cast is building up kind of nice. I'm really liking the inventive use of the powers, and just how bizarrely like violent he ends up screwing up, which has now been a running gag for a couple of issues. So I'm digging that. An evil villain lady, who's kind of Veronica Cale, but not. Possibly more evil.
Not really, yeah.
It depends. I don't know what her motivation is yet. She might not be, because at least with Veronica Cale, she has this tragic backstory that leads to why she is the way she is. Yeah. I'm digging the kind of, because DC, kind of like why I wanted to like Blue Beetle as much as I did, is that DC doesn't have the naive teenage superhero on their own that this kind of is, where he's just trying to figure things out. You've got the evil boss lady's kind of like scheming. The mum's in for an interview at one point, and she has a scientist kind of scan the room to see if she's got any dark energy on her, and like, no, we need the sun, we need him. So they're keeping track of him. It's like, oh yeah, let's get to him, and let nothing stand in our way. So it's all maniacal at the end. But I'm really digging. He's got the wit of Spider-Man. Obviously, we compare him in his DC Spider-Man, but he does have the jokes.
Yeah.
He cracks the jokes when he's out and about. And then I think his powers are quite inventive, though. I feel like between this issue and last, they've done some different things. They've established that the edge of the rift is rock solid. So he used it to trip someone up last time. They've established that it can cut off limbs.
Right.
They've established that it can do this. And now they've established in this one that he can't touch himself while rifting. That could lead to something happening bad. So,
Right.
yeah, they're building it a little bit. I'm digging it. I feel like I've liked each issue more. I'm at the point now where, no, I like this book. I'll stamp it. I like this book.
Good.